Welcome to the deep dive. It's 2025, and wow, the pace of AI innovation is it feels relentless, doesn't it?
It really does, almost dizzying. We're seeing language models producing text that's incredibly sophisticated.
Yeah, and autonomous agents starting to tackle, you know, actual real-world tasks.
Plus AI getting involved in some pretty critical decision making.
So for developers like us, the big question, the burning question is, okay, this power is amazing, but how do we actually build something useful with it?
That's exactly the pivot point we're hitting now. The theory is fascinating, sure, but the real value, that comes when we integrate these breakthroughs into, well, practical applications.
And that's where established web frameworks are suddenly finding this new lease on life, right?
Precisely. Which brings us neatly to Ruby on Rails.
Right, Rails.
Yeah.
You probably think classic web apps, maybe Basecamp back in the day.
Sure, that's his heritage.
But what we're seeing in 2025 is that it's actually becoming a really strong contender for building these cutting-edge AI-powered solutions.
Yeah, it's this kind of unexpected synergy that's so interesting. Rails, known for developer happiness, rapid prototyping, is
Yeah.
now a key tool for building everything from, say, intelligent SaaS platforms that adapt to users all the way to complex data pipelines feeding AI models.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear then. We want to explore 10 specific areas where Rails is being used to build real AI innovations right now in 2025.
Let's do it. See a familiar framework in maybe a slightly new light.
All right, where should we start?
How about intelligent SaaS platforms? That feels like a natural entry point. We're definitely moving past the old model of SaaS, just a fixed feature set.
Right, like software that just sits there.
Exactly. Now we're seeing these systems emerge that can actually adapt, learn from how they're used.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. So
Yeah.
not static software, but something that evolves, almost like it anticipates what you need.
That's the idea. These platforms watch user interactions, clicks, navigation paths, feature usage, all that stuff. And they use that data to proactively offer suggestions or personalize the whole experience. And the compelling part is how well Rails fits as the backbone for this.
Right, because Rails has always been pretty good for, multi-tenant apps, serving lots of users.
Absolutely. The MVC architecture gives great organization. Active Record makes database interaction, well, simpler.
Yeah.
And it's got solid API tools, so a Rails app can easily gather all that user interaction data
Okay.
and then ship it off to a specialized AI model for the heavy lifting, the analysis.
And then AI does its thing, maybe predicts the next feature someone needs, sends that insight back,
Exactly.
and Rails updates the UI maybe to reflect
Yeah.
that prediction.
Precisely that. Or think about dynamic pricing.
Yeah.
An AI model will choose on market trends, competitor prices, maybe user segments.
Okay.
And Rails acts as the control center, tweaking prices based on the AI's output.
Or onboarding instead of one size fits all.
Right. The AI figures out the user's likely persona, and Rails delivers a custom flow just for them.
Makes sense. So Rails is the coordinator. AI adds the smarts. What about AI agents? All that buzz about autonomous systems doing tasks. Where does Rails fit?
That's a really interesting space. The question becomes, how do you manage these agents, keep track of what they're doing?
Right, they're off doing their own thing.
And that's where Rails shines as middleware. It might not be the agent's brain, so to speak,
Okay.
but it's excellent at managing the workflows that involve these agents.
So less about the AI's decision process, more about managing its to-do list and making sure it runs smoothly.
Exactly that. Rails has fantastic background job processing, Sidekick, delayed job, RESC,
Yeah, the usual suspects.
which is critical because agent tasks often aren't instant, right? Think about an AI travel agent booking flights. That takes time. Rails handles those background processes.
And how do you tell the user what's happening? You don't want a black box.
Good point. That's where Action Cable comes in, the built-in WebSocket support.
Ah, right. Real-time updates.
Exactly. Users get live feedback. Plus, security is huge here. These agents act on behalf of users.
Yeah, permissions are key.
And Rails has mature solutions like Devise or Pundit to manage authentication and authorization.
Okay, so Rails is like the command center.
Yeah.
User talks to Rails, Rails assigns tasks to the agents, orchestrates the whole thing, and pushes updates back to the user via the real-time interface.
You got it. Rails manages the UI, the queues, the orchestration. The agents are like connected specialists. Okay, let's pivot slightly. Content platforms, knowledge management. How's AI changing things there?
Well, traditionally, managing content online involved a ton of manual effort, right? writing, tagging, curating related articles.
So much manual curation.
It feels like AI could automate a lot of that and maybe make it smarter.
That's exactly the opportunity. AI can now suggest related content, cluster articles by topic automatically, auto-tag things, even help with SEO or generate media.
And Rails has history here, doesn't it, in the
Oh.
CMS world?
Oh yeah, a strong history. Think refinery CMS, comfortable Mexican sofa. Some really solid platforms built on Rails.
Right.
And that foundation means Rails is super flexible for plugging in AI services. You could easily add, say, GPT-based summarization for long articles.
Okay.
Or use vector databases. PG Vector works great with Postgres for much smarter search and recommendations based on semantic meaning, not just keywords.
So your Rails-based knowledge base could automatically summarize docs or suggest related pages based on understanding the content.
Exactly. Rails gives you the structure and the flexibility to add these AI features piece by piece, modularly. No need for a total rewrite. It's even enabling, completely new types of AI native blogging systems.
Interesting. Now, what about companies building their own AI models? We're seeing more fine-tuned LLMs, custom vision models.
Yeah.
How does Rails help there?
That brings up the interface aspect, which is critical. You can have the world's best model, but if users can't easily, securely interact with it,
It's useless.
pretty much, or provide feedback or see how it's being used, Rails really excels as that presentation and orchestration layer.
So building the dashboards where users upload data for the model to process.
Exactly that. And also capturing user feedback on the results vital for iterating and improving the model.
Right, the feedback loop.
Plus, Rails can provide analytics on model usage or even custom interfaces for crafting specific prompts for the AI.
And you mentioned integrations like with Hugging Face.
Yes, Rails can talk to inference endpoints from platforms like Hugging Face or even self-hosted servers like NVIDIA Triton. And what's really key here is Rails' strength in scenarios needing compliance.
Okay.
Strict user permissions, detailed audit trails, super important when you're dealing with proprietary models or sensitive data.
Makes perfect sense. Security and control are non-negotiable there.
Right.
But AI isn't always perfect, right? Especially in high-stakes areas. Let's talk human in the loop.
Absolutely essential. In fields like medicine, finance, law, you often need human oversight. AI can analyze, predict, flag things, but often an expert needs to review and sign off. And Rails turns out to be remarkably good for building these HITL, human-in-the-loop systems.
Okay. Why Rails specifically for these review workflows?
Well, first off, it's great at building robust, form-based processes. AI flags an issue. That automatically creates a task assigned to a human reviewer. Rails makes defining those steps and the data needed really straightforward.
Right.
And tools like Active Admin let you rapidly build and customize the admin interfaces that reviewers actually use.
And I bet logging everything is critical too. Who reviewed what, when?
Absolutely crucial. You need that audit trail. Rails makes implementing audit logs, data versioning, and role-based access control relatively simple. Ensures only the right people do the reviewing, and you have a full history.
Can you give a concrete example? A Rails HITL system.
Sure. Think medical imaging. AI scans x-rays, flags potential anomalies. A Rails app presents those flagged images to a radiologist for review and confirmation. Or document classification. AI suggests a category. A human reviewer accepts or overrides it in a Rails interface.
Fraud detection too.
Perfect example. AI flagged suspicious transactions. They pop up in a Rails dashboard for a human analyst to investigate. Rails offers that sweet spot. Fast development plus the maturity needed for reliable HITL.
Really clear. Okay, shifting gears again. Predictive analytics dashboards. How's AI changing how we see and understand data?
We're moving beyond just showing historical data. The next wave of dashboards uses AI to give insights, explain why things are happening, even suggest actions. And Rails is proving a very capable foundation for these.
So Rails isn't doing the predicting itself necessarily.
Not usually, no.
But it's building the interface to show and interact with those AI-driven insights.
Exactly. Rails excels at building secure, customizable dashboards, role-based views, API integrations for real-time data, flexible widgets, background jobs for AI-triggered alerts.
Okay.
It provides the whole user-facing structure.
And the AI's contribution, what does that look like?
Well, the AI models process the raw data to generate forecasts, maybe sales projections, customer churn risk.
Right.
They can run scenario planning, detect anomalies in KPIs, even generate natural language summaries explaining complex trends. Makes the data much easier to
So
digest.
the AI layer might be Python microservices or external APIs.
Correct.
But Rails is the front door, handling user interaction, data flow, scheduling.
Precisely. The user gets a clean Rails dashboard powered by sophisticated AI analysis behind the scenes. Better decisions,
It
hopefully.
makes sense. Now it's in a big one. E-commerce.
Oh, yeah, huge potential there. AI is weaving into almost every part of the online shopping journey.
I can already think of a few ways. Finding products, maybe? Better recommendations.
Definitely. Things like visual search, upload a photo, find similar items, real-time pricing driven by AI market analysis,
Chatbot.
AI-powered chatbots for personalized shopping help, absolutely. Even analyzing review sentiment or forecasting inventory needs. And Rails, especially with established engines like Spree or Solidus, provides a really solid backend.
So your Rails store could use AI image recognition to auto-categorize new products.
Exactly. Or have a conversational AI interface helping shoppers find things using natural language.
Like talking to a helpful assistant.
Kind of, yeah. Plus, intelligent cross-selling, upselling based on browsing history, purchase patterns, even AI creating smart bundles of products people often buy together.
And Rails manages all the core stuff. Products, orders, users.
Right. Rails handles the product data, the order management, tracks user behavior, all the essential inputs that fuel those AI models. It's the reliable foundation for that AI-enhanced experience.
It really provides that stable base. Okay, talked a lot about the applications of AI, but none of it works without good data, right?
Yeah.
Let's touch on secure data pipelines.
Yeah, this is fundamental, often overlooked, but absolutely critical. You need reliable ways to get data in, clean it up, prepare it for AI training and inference.
The plumbing, essentially.
Exactly. And Rails can play a really valuable role here, providing the interfaces to manage that whole data flow.
So Rails builds the tools to orchestrate getting data ready for AI.
Precisely. Think about admin dashboards for uploading and labeling data, or building APIs and webhooks in Rails to stream data in from other systems.
Mm-hmm.
And importantly, Rails is great for systems needing audit trails and compliance tracking, especially vital with sensitive data. You can even use it to manage version datasets.
Can you give an example? Rails and an AI data pipeline.
Sure, maybe an enterprise app built with Rails that lets legal assistants validate and clean up contracts before they're fed into a legal AI model for training.
Okay, makes sense.
Or a healthcare platform using Rails background jobs to anonymize patient records before sending them off for analysis. Even a simple survey tool built in Rails could collect and help label text data for sentiment analysis training.
So it brings developer productivity, user management, data validation, all crucial before the AI even touches the data.
Exactly. It ensures the data going into the AI is sound. That infrastructure is just as vital as the fancy models. Okay, now for something that sounds pretty futuristic, collaborative multi-agent environments.
Right, multiple AIs working together. Sounds complex.
It is. We're talking teams of AI systems tackling complex problems, scientific research, logistics, maybe even collaborative coding. The big challenge is coordinating them.
Keeping them from stepping on each other's toes.
Basically, yeah. And that's where Rails can be a key enabler, acting as the orchestrator.
Like an air traffic controller for AI agents.
That's a decent analogy. Rails can provide structured task queues, manage state to oversee agent interactions. It can offer admin tools with real-time logs, maybe using Action Cable or TurboStream so you can see what each agent is doing.
And humans can interact too.
Yes. Rails can manage user assignments, review processes, allowing humans to supervise or collaborate with these AI teams.
What does the tech stack look like underneath?
You might have the agents themselves in Python containers, maybe using specific agent frameworks. They could communicate via Redis, maybe gRPC.
Okay.
And Rails sits above that, handling authentication, routing tasks, managing sessions, providing that centralized logging and monitoring layer for the whole system.
And potential uses
Yeah.
beyond research labs.
Autonomous customer service teams, maybe, where AI handles simpler queries, escalating complex ones, or even software development agents working on different code modules, running tests.
Wow.
Rails brings the visibility, the traceability, the governance needed to manage these potentially very complex, opaque, multi-agent systems.
That's fascinating. Okay, finally, let's talk about vertical applications. Using Rails for highly specialized AI in specific industries.
Right. This is a big trend, moving away from generic AI towards tools tailored for specific fields, law, medicine, construction, finance, you name it.
Vertical sauce, basically, but with AI baked in.
Exactly. And Rails is proving really well suited for building these domain-specific AI portals and platforms
Why Rails particularly?
because it lets you tightly integrate that specific industry's business logic and workflows. It's got mature support for things like multi-tenancy, localization, often needed in vertical markets.
Right.
And crucially, it connects easily to those AI models trained specifically on that industry's data.
Can you give a couple of quick examples?
Sure. Imagine a Rails platform for doctors integrating AI diagnostic aids, maybe summarizing patient histories automatically,
Okay.
or a real estate portal using AI fed local data via Rails to generate super accurate property valuations, or a construction compliance tool where AI analyzes blueprints against regulations, all managed through a Rails interface.
So Rails lets these companies build fast, securely,
Really?
handle their unique business rules.
While plugging in that very specialized advanced AI.
It really is amazing how adaptable Rails continues to be, isn't it? Even with AI moving so incredibly fast.
Absolutely. It proves in 2025 that it's far from a legacy framework. Its conventions, that huge, mature ecosystem, its flexibility, it all makes it a really powerful, versatile tool for building these AI-powered apps.
So whether it's the central nervous system for agents, the UI for complex models, or the back end for a collaborative AI, Rails is still a really potent tool in the AI era.
And what's great is it provides this familiar, productive ground for developers to actually build these cutting-edge things. It lowers the barrier, in a way.
So a final thought for everyone listening. As you think about bringing AI into your own work, your own field,
Yeah.
don't just focus on the AI model itself. Think about the critical plumbing, the user interfaces, the whole system needed to make that AI practical and usable. And maybe, just maybe, Ruby on Rails is the tool that helps you build it.